Okay, Nick and Andy, let's preview another massive game coming up in the Champions League this week. I love this time of year when we get to this stage of the tournament. It really is getting down to the very important stage of the group phase of this Champions League competition. Real Madrid against Man City at the Bernabeu. Real struggling a bit in the league, Nick Mendola. City are clicking. Every now and then they put in a bit of a stinker of a performance, but then they kind of figure it out like we saw at the weekend. What are your thoughts on this game? Because these two have put in some classic encounters in the Champions League in recent years, and it feels like they're both at a time when they can just kind of say, screw it, let's go for it and try and win, and there might be a lot of goals and a lot of fun in this game.
I would say you're right. I think there's a real potential here to have one of those, I don't want to say calamitous moments, that's the wrong way to put it, but there's something weird going on at Real Madrid, and it's not just about their results. Vinicius Jr., whenever he doesn't play, there's been talk about his future. He hasn't been happy. Jude Bellingham is a fantastic player who has a different personality, shall we say. Kylian Mbappe is fantastic, scoring more goals. It's him, Kane, and Haaland right now, just talking about who's the best finisher in the world. But there are injuries at the back. It's a Champions League affair. It's where you see Real Madrid come up, show their strength. This is their most favorite trophy in the world. But there's something beneath the surface. That could see those white hankies come out.
There's always something just under the surface with Madrid, though.
Exactly, Andy. And so where I'm thinking and what I'm concerned about is Xabi Alonso, I think, is a fantastic manager. And what he isn't, however, is used to the ego massage game. It was his show at Leverkusen. When he's been in the team, he's been the quiet, strong leader. And I just wonder if he didn't quite realize the player power of a team that prides itself on Galacticos.
It's a great point because he was one of those Galacticos, Andy, for a long time. But he was, again, like a quiet Galactico, right? He would just do his job and wasn't, the superstar, but was very, very good as a player there. So we knew what he was getting into when he took over from Ancelotti. But these defensive injuries, I think, have been particularly hurtful in terms of the way he wants to play and build up from the back and all the rest of it. And some of those defenders he's picked very clearly to bring them in the summer to fit his style of play and all the rest of it. But I mean, they lost against Celta Vigo at the weekend. What's it, one league win in their last 5? Is this a tactical thing, or is it, like Nick mentioned there, kind of almost like a player power thing where he's trying to shift away from that Ancelotti just, all right, let's get all the best players on the pitch and they'll make something happen. They'll win us the game, where he's more of a systematic coach, right? And I think it is going to take time, but we know at most big clubs in Europe, but especially Real Madrid, you probably aren't going to get that time to work through some teething issues, even if you are a former club legend as a player.
Yeah, from a Real Madrid board perspective, I will say I'm shocked that the team that was given free reign for a number of years under Don Carlo has gone under, another one of these meticulous micromanager helicopter type coaches, similar vein of Pep, and that the players haven't just immediately acquiesced to that and then decided, okay, we're fine with that. We will have all the structure and the rules in place, and we will never step outside of that. I'm shocked that, and that is one of the frustrating things about the sport at the very top level is clubs like Real Madrid will get the prime target as a coach or a player that every club in the world is after at the same exact time. And they just, and obviously there's extra ties for Xabi here that made Madrid even more appealing to him, but they will just bring them in and then not allow them to do the thing that got them that job in the first place, that drew Real Madrid's eye, that made him such an appealing target. And obviously there's a lot of factors at play at Real Madrid. There always is. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he can get out of it, because I mean, we've seen much better, much more well-known, much more accomplished managers than Xabi Alonso go in there and the players just said, nope, get out, and they're gone.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing all right in the Champions League, though, right, Nick? I mean, 4 wins from 5 so far. I mean, if they win this game against City, they pretty much wrap up a seeded spot and get the bye in the knockout rounds, pretty much. So it feels like as long as you win the Champions League or go far in that at Real Madrid, you're doing all right. But I guess with the ascendancy of Barcelona under Hansi Flick and all the rest of it, it's tough. It's tough for Xabi Alonso right now. But I think he's going to enjoy going up against Pep Guardiola and this scrap against City, because City are only 2 points behind Real Madrid. They need this win as well to try and get in that top 8. And this would be big for them in their top 8 hopes. So I think this is probably a bad time for Real Madrid to play City, though, right? With Foden, Shirky clicking and creating lots of chances for Haaland. So again, I think this all balls in very nicely to what should be a bit of a classic Champions League encounter.
It does. And I mean, we keep not forgetting, but it almost, there should be an asterisk next to every Man City game. Rodri wasn't available. Because I think it was today or yesterday, Guardiola was asked, and I pulled up the quote. They were asked, he really went out for like 2 minutes because somebody said, hey, when's he coming back? He said, do you know what it means playing without the best player in the world 2 seasons ago, our main player, when we won the treble playing 70 games, 1 year and a half without him? Do you know what we miss? I want him back now, here. And you can see him saying it. This is one of those situations where I think the fear factor goes out for teams, especially at home. They know Haaland can score, but the guy who made it so hard to even generate chances isn't there. And then the guy who helped him, Kovacic, also not there. And they're just relying on Gonzalez so much, and they're relying on out-chancing teams. The 5-4 a few weeks ago in the Premier League. Look, it was awesome. It doesn't happen with Rodri there.
Yes.
And it doesn't happen against other teams. It is something where any team getting this City right now in this congested run of games better take their opportunities.
Yeah. Andy, do you think Real Madrid are going to be able to do that? What's the score prediction for this game, mate?
No, I don't think. I think City have found this. They found a nice balance between the offensive firepower that they have and the control that Pep likes, I think. And they still slip up every now and then. They can be put off by kind of the tactical oddity that somebody comes at them with. But Real Madrid, just with the injuries that they've got at the back, I know that they can create going forward. But I think City also have improved defensively. And that's the big thing is when City are at their best, they give you almost nothing. And Madrid will have a few chances in this one, but City will have the control that they want. So I'm gonna say 2-1, but not as close as the final score would indicate.
Nick, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think it's just going to turn to one of those end-to-end games. Like I said, both teams know a win would be huge for them. So I'm going to go with a draw.
I'll go 3-2 to City. And I think the difference is going to be Gigio Donnarumma. Loves these games, won't be afraid of the stage, has had some moments against Real Madrid in the past. And look, Foden, the way he's playing right now, to have him going the way he is, along with Shirky. And let's face it, Haaland hasn't scored in 2 or 3 games, so he's bound to score maybe 5 goals. No, I'm just kidding. I think City will emerge, and that's not a slight at Real Madrid.
All right, head over to Pro Soccer Talk for all the latest on Real Madrid against Man City. This should be an epic game at the Bernabeu.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.